Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. Dark Crisis is here. So this is the next big DC event from Joshua Williamson. He's been building up to this since DC Infinite Frontier, the Infinite Frontier miniseries, Justice League Incarnate, the Justice League 75, the Death of the Justice League, all of it leading into Dark Crisis from Joshua Williamson, Daniel Samperi on the artwork. We're also going to have some other artists, I think, involved, like Jim Chung and a few others, but it's going to launch on Free Comic Book Day. So DC's Free Comic Book Day offering will be a Dark Crisis like prequel or lead-in or something like that, a tease, something like that. And then we're getting Road to Dark Crisis, and then in June, Dark Crisis starts properly, right? So this is spinning out of everything that Joshua Williamson has been building up to in the pages of Infinite Frontier, Justice League Incarnate, this new ultimate version of Darkseid, trying to capture and utilize the force of the Great Darkness, and how every crisis event in up to this point has been manipulated. All of these DC events have been manipulated by this one force for this one reason, and it all is now culminating here. Sound familiar? Yeah, pretty much. Every single one of these DC Crisis events, they kind of want to recontextualize the others and make you go, oh, that was what was really going on. Now, I am a sucker for DC Crisis events. Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of my favorite comic book stories of all time. I love Infinite Crisis because it's pretty much just a sequel to that, but done a little bit differently. I liked it. I adore Final Crisis. I like all the metal stuff, Flashpoint, all of that, right? But they just did this in Dark Knight's Metal into Death Metal, where all of it was Perpetua, right? It's every single thing was explained as being a part of that. And now we're getting a re-explanation, a recontextualization of all of these DC Crisis events, and it's actually the Great Darkness, and this and that. I don't know. That being said, I'm liking what Josh Williamson's doing. I think Samperi's a really solid artist. I love these crisis events, but it's hard for me to really have that youthful energy about this one, though. I mean, the closer we get to it, the more I may become excited about it, but definitely we'll be checking this one out. Blood Syndicate will be launching in May from Milestone Comics by Jeffrey Thorne, Chris Cross, and Juan Castro. So Blood Syndicate was like a team book from the Milestone days. We've talked about this before. I never really dived into those Milestone books. There's a new compendium out right now that I'm thinking about getting because I want to read the old school stuff. The new school stuff, I felt a little disconnected out of it, but I'd like to be excited, especially for the old school stuff. But I know a lot of people are excited about Blood Syndicate because I've heard from a lot of people that that was one of their favorite Milestone books back in the day, and that's a pretty solid creative team that's bringing it back. Spider-Man 2099 Exodus is an event in a way, debuting in May from Marvel Comics. This one's going to be spearheaded by Steve Orlando. So it's going to be one of those little tiny mini events that they've been doing, kind of like the Darkhold or the previous 2099 event, where there will be an alpha one-shot, a series of one-shots, and then like an Omega ending or something like that. It's supposed to focus, of course, on Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. He's going to be in the animated film coming up later on this year. But it's also supposed to be focusing on X-Men 2099, Ghost Rider 2099, which I think is pretty cool, Avengers of 2029, or 2099, and Loki in 2099, and it's also introducing a new version of Winter Soldier for 2099. Steve Orlando's work, it's kind of like hit or miss with me. I don't like these kind of events that are formatted like this, where it's like a one-shot, a series of one-shots, and a book-ending one-shots. I don't know. We'll have to see. Marvel's teasing a new Thunderbolts book. As of recording this video, no details have been announced, just some silhouetted characters. By the time this video drops, though, that information will probably be out, so if someone can throw that in the comments, that would be very helpful. But a new Thunderbolts team, if I had to guess, spinning out of the aftermath of Devil's Reign, which is nearing wrapping up what it's doing, and Villains for Hire has been kind of leading into a Thunderbolts thing. There's a lot of rumors about a Thunderbolts series or a movie on Disney Plus or something like that, setting up U.S. Agent, things like that. So I'm sure it's just kind of leaning into that. That being said, I'm a huge fan of the OG Thunderbolts, the Mark Bagley stuff with Kurt Busiek, and then Fabian Nicieza, Patrick Zurcher was a part of that too. I love that entire run, still have every single issue of that first volume of Thunderbolts. Uncanny X-Men Trading Cards, the collection. You know those X-Men trading cards that Jim Lee did like 30 years ago? Well, they're being collected, probably, I didn't notice if it was a hardcover or if it was a soft cover or something, but they're being collected together, all the art with some unseen art. That's really freaking cool. I love it. I have these like hardcover top collections of the 60s Mars Attacks cards and the Star Trek cards. So I would love if Marvel did more of this, you know, like when they did the comic book series, Marvel Masterpieces, that was cool. But nice like collections presenting that artwork front, back, that would be really cool. I'm really excited for this though. I love that trading card set. I sold mine several years ago, and I've yet to get my volume or my my Series 1 back. I've gotten Series 2 back, but that's one of my favorite trading card series. Grimm is a new book from Boom Studios, debuting in May, I think, from Stephanie Williams and Flavinio. This one is about a woman who dies. She becomes a Reaper, a Grim Reaper. It's kind of like that Dead Like Me show a little bit, but she doesn't remember how she died, so her first order of business is to solve the mystery of her own murder. So it's taken elements from different things. We'll see what they can do. Stephanie Williams, when she's working on non-Big Two projects, I kind of like that stuff pretty decently. Red Atlantis, A Man Among Ye. So this would be something I'm interested into checking out. Then we got Shaolin Cowboy returning for a new series. Cruel to Be Kin. Jeff Darrow doing more Shaolin Cowboy. There you go. I mean, that's all we really need to know. That starts in May, and it's going to have a variant cover by Mike Mignola, and it looks pretty freaking sweet. F This Place is a new one from Image Comics in May, written by Kyle Starks with artwork by Artyom Topolin. This one is about this couple, or these two girls, they inherit this old farmhouse, but this farmhouse is like got this attractive force to it for all kinds of aliens and ghosts and goblins and ghouls and things like that, and they're going to have to try to create a new life for themselves in this house with all of this craziness being attracted to the area. Sounds pretty neat. Kyle Starks, really nifty writer, creator. Really like his work, so we're definitely going to check that out. Tales from the Crip is a graphic novel that's going to be coming from Snoop Dogg and Rodney Barnes. It's going to be, you know, an homage to the Tales from the Crypt, all that old school horror anthology type stuff, but obviously leaning into a certain influence. Snoop Dogg doing a comic book called Tales from the Crypt. I'm already sold. You've already sold 5 copies here. Why 5? I don't know. It sounds like a good number. Archer and Armstrong Forever launches in May from Valiant. This one by Steve Fox, Marcio Fiorito. Not familiar with those artists. I am familiar with the characters of Archer and Armstrong. No Valiant titles have really been keeping my interest for very long. They got a weird kind of production schedule going on right now. They're not focusing on a lot of books. They don't really have a lot of books coming out each month, and their announcements are few and far in between, so I'd love to get sucked back into a Valiant book, because several years ago, when you had like Jeff Lemire over there, you had Joshua Dysart over there, you had some really solid work, and I was really getting into some of that stuff, but since then, it's just been like slim pickings at Valiant, but we do got a new Archer and Armstrong book. Futurama's returning for 20 episodes, ordered by Hulu. I like Futurama. I never got like super into it where I can say that I've seen every single episode, but I did enjoy that series, and it's getting a return, so that's really cool. 20 more episodes, at least. Ordered by Hulu. Then we got the Jurassic World Dominion trailer. I liked Jurassic World. I did not like the last Jurassic Park movie, or Jurassic World, what was it, Kingdom or something like that, Fallen Kingdom? I didn't really like the last one. This trailer looks freaking awesome, though. It looks like what I've always wanted to see was like you know, dinosaurs in the real world. Like, that was the setup at the end of the last movie. And you got Alan Grant showing back up, Sam Neill, of course, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. So you got those 3 legacy characters, and you got the new ones. And I'll tell you what, I've been very critical of things lately that are trying to do this whole requel, Force Awakens type take on things. Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream 5, right? So this, though, I'm really pumped for because it didn't start necessarily like that. And so now it's been like a build-up where I am into these new characters, and I am into the return of the old characters in a more story-oriented way. This trailer looked awesome. I'm just going to say, this trailer looked awesome. Lots of dinosaurs out there in the real world doing their real-world thing. That trailer looked really cool. I'm very excited for it. Jurassic Park. Jurassic World Dominion. Looks cool. Firestarter. Did y'all see that new Firestarter trailer? I like the 80s Firestarter movie. It's not the greatest, right? But I do like that movie. I've read the book. I really enjoy the Stephen King novel. So watching this trailer really excited me because it looks like they're picking a lot up from that novel. It looks exciting. The effects look great. But what's most intriguing to me is that score is going to be done by John Carpenter and his sons. John Carpenter was supposed to be the director of the original Firestarter movie, but he wasn't going to be able to deliver his vision in the budget that they were going to give him, so he had to drop out of that project or something. Or also, I think the failure, box office wise, of like The Thing and a couple other things, like just led to him not being able to do that project. And it's one of his big regrets. So to see him be able to come back in some form or fashion, like to deliver a score for this movie, seems pretty cool. Zac Efron looks convincing. The kid looks great. I'm sold for that trailer too. Then I saw the trailer for Men. It's a new Alex Garland film. It's an A24 film. I am down for some A24 stuff. I love Alex Garland's work. So I watched that trailer. I had nothing out of it. The trailer's very confusing. It doesn't show you anything. It's just like A24, Alex Garland. We know you're going to watch it. There you go. It looks green. Looks pretty. But there wasn't nothing to it. I don't know anything about the damn movie. But it doesn't, I mean, what A24, Alex Garland. That was the trailer, basically. Like, you could have just, whatever. The trailer's kind of weak as far as trailers go. But I'm excited to learn more about that movie as we approach its release or whatever. Anyway, that's what we got for you this week. What's coming up here at PCP? Well, first of all, Dylan's Horror Show will go on tonight without me. I'm taking the weekend off, but he'll be there with some great homies talking about Ready or Not. This is a movie from the directors of the latest Scream movie. I think this is the one they did before that, so be sure to join up over at Dylan's Horror Show. There will not be a Rockin Robbie live this Sunday night because we're respecting Dre, because we never forgot about him. The Super Bowl is this Sunday, so we are not going to be there. But do on Instagram, check out Blame Fable tonight. They're doing that at a special earlier time. I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern. That's only on Instagram, so check that out for sure. And no PCP movie night on Monday night because it's Valentine's. And we're not going to be anybody's excuse not to spend time with their significant other. So there you go. Anyway, we will be rocking again, though, on Tuesday night with the weekly comic book review and onwards. We're back in full swing. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Let us know in the comments below any of your thoughts about any of this news that we covered or anything that we didn't, anything we missed. We really do appreciate you checking out the video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and join us over at patreon.com/PCP if you want to help support the channel. Thanks so much for rocking with us. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Station. Pop, pop, boom.